Welcome to Deep Into Finance family. We appreciate you being here with us. Give us a like and subscribe to our channel. Share with your friends and family and stay up to date to our future videos. One factor that could potentially lead to a collapse of China's economy is a severe decline in the real estate market. The real estate industry has been a major driver of China's economic growth, accounting for a significant portion of the country's GDP. However, there are concerns that the Chinese property market is in a bubble that could burst at any time, leading to a significant drop in property prices and a wave of bankruptcies among property developers and investors. The real estate market in China is heavily influenced by government policies, which have encouraged the construction of new homes and the purchase of existing properties. However, the government has also imposed restrictions on property purchases in an effort to cool the market and prevent a housing bubble. If the government's efforts to control the real estate market fail, it could lead to a significant decline in the value of property assets, which would have a ripple effect on the rest of the economy. Another potential factor that could contribute to a collapse of China's economy is a decline in international trade. China is the world's largest exporter of goods and has been able to achieve significant economic growth by taking advantage of low labor costs and a large workforce. However, there are concerns that the ongoing trade war between China and the United States could lead to a decline in Chinese exports and a drop in demand for Chinese products. If China's exports were to decline significantly, it could lead to a significant drop in GDP, as well as job losses and a slowdown in economic activity. Additionally, if China were to retaliate against the United States by imposing tariffs or other trade restrictions, it could lead to a further decline in global trade and have negative implications for the global economy as a whole. A third potential factor that could contribute to a collapse of China's economy is a banking crisis. China's banking sector has been growing rapidly in recent years, with banks lending heavily to support the country's economic growth. However, there are concerns that some of these loans may not be repaid, leading to a wave of bankruptcies and a crisis in the banking sector. If a banking crisis were to occur in China, it could lead to a significant drop in lending, which would have negative implications for the rest of the economy. Additionally, a banking crisis could lead to a loss of confidence in the Chinese financial system, leading to capital flight and a decline in foreign investment. Political instability could also contribute to a collapse of China's economy. China is a one-party state, and the ruling Communist Party exercises tight control over the country's political and economic system. There are concerns that political instability could arise if the Communist Party were to lose its grip on power. If political instability were to occur in China, it could lead to a decline in foreign investment, as well as a loss of confidence in the country's political and economic system. Political instability could lead to social unrest, which could have negative implications for the rest of the economy. While China's economy has been growing rapidly in recent years, there are concerns that a number of factors could contribute to a collapse in the future. These factors include a decline in the real estate market, a decline in international trade, a banking crisis, and political instability. While it is impossible to predict the future with certainty, it is important for China to take steps to address these potential risks and ensure the long-term stability of its economy. To address some of these potential risks, the Chinese government has implemented various policies aimed at stabilizing the economy. The government has introduced measures to cool the real estate market, including restrictions on property purchases and tighter lending standards for developers. The government has also introduced policies aimed at boosting domestic consumption, such as tax cuts and subsidies for households. The government has sought to diversify the economy away from reliance on exports and investment, and towards more sustainable sources of growth. This includes investing in industries such as technology and renewable energy, as well as promoting the development of the service sector. Furthermore, the Chinese government has taken steps to strengthen the banking sector, including increasing capital requirements for banks and improving regulation and supervision. The government has also taken steps to open up the financial sector to foreign competition, which could help to increase efficiency and reduce risk in the sector. Despite these measures, there are still concerns about the long-term sustainability of China's economic growth. Some analysts argue that the government's efforts to cool the real estate market could lead to a sharp decline in property prices, which could have negative implications for the banking sector and the broader economy. There are also concerns about the country's high levels of debt, which could become unsustainable if economic growth slows significantly. China's total debt, including both government and corporate debt, has grown rapidly in recent years and now stands at around 280% of GDP, according to the Institute of International Finance. Furthermore, the ongoing trade war between China and the United States remains a significant risk to China's economy. While the two countries signed a trade deal in January 2020, tensions between the two countries remain high, and there is a risk that the trade war could escalate further. While China's economy has been growing rapidly in recent years, there are still significant risks that could contribute to a collapse in the future. These include a decline in the real estate market, a decline in international trade, a banking crisis, and political instability. While the Chinese government has implemented policies aimed at stabilizing the economy, there are still concerns about the long-term sustainability of China's economic growth. Therefore, it is important for China to continue to address these risks and ensure the long-term stability of its economy. Another risk factor for China's economy is the aging population. The one-child policy, which was in place from 1979 to 2015, has led to a decline in the birth rate and an increase in the proportion of elderly people in the population. This demographic shift could put a strain on China's social welfare system and reduce the size of the labor force, which could hamper economic growth. Moreover, there are concerns about the quality of China's economic growth. China has been criticized for relying too heavily on investment and exports at the expense of consumption and innovation. This has led to overcapacity in certain industries and a buildup of debt. In addition, China's economy is heavily reliant on state-owned enterprises, which are often inefficient and burdened by debt. China also faces environmental challenges that could impact its economic growth. The country is the world's largest emitter of greenhouse gases, and pollution is a major problem in many cities. The government has taken steps to address these issues, such as promoting renewable energy and implementing stricter environmental regulations. But progress has been slow in some areas. There is the risk of political instability. China is an authoritarian state, and there have been instances of protests and unrest in some regions. The government has been criticized for its handling of human rights issues and for its crackdown on dissent. Any significant political upheaval could have a negative impact on the economy. While China's economy has seen remarkable growth over the past few decades, it is not immune to risks and challenges. The country faces risks from an aging population, debt, environmental challenges, and political instability. While the government has taken steps to address these risks, it will need to continue to do so to ensure the long-term stability of the economy. A collapse in China's economy would have significant global implications. Given the size and importance of the Chinese economy, it is important to note that while there are risks and challenges facing China's economy, the country has shown resilience and adaptability in the face of past challenges. The Chinese government will need to continue to be proactive in addressing these risks to ensure the continued stability and growth of the economy.